Every one of us who makes games probably has a folder with a bunch of their old projects, and I'm no different. I have a lot of projects just sitting there abandoned, waiting for me to open them. Some of them are horribly bad, but there are a couple of gems out there. Well, today is their lucky day, because I'll be showing you my best failed projects that have been completely abandoned. Now, the first project I would like to show you is probably the one I'm most intrigued to get back into. It's my first person shooter testing project, as you can see by the name. It was a cool project that I started out of fun, but I just got bored with it. I had no ideas where to implement this system into, but it's a very nice system to have. The idea for this game was it was going to be a kind of first-person shooter horror game where you have to explore the areas of the undiscovered world, finding it to be more exciting than you thought. But without knowing the scope of the project, it was really interesting for me, the idea of a shooter with a story, so I only made a shooter controller and I completely stopped working on it. This should have been a video, but I decided if I won't be making this game anymore, there's literally no point of me making a video on it. And the whole game is probably never gonna see the light of day, because a project like an FPS horror is a difficult one to make. And let's stop for a minute to tell you about my Patreon. I have a lot of projects just sitting there and some pretty good scripts and game mechanics. Well, now you can access those scripts and a lot of game dev assets by joining my Patreon, which is linked down in the description below. If you join, you will have access to pre-release scripts, some never before seen scripts, and early access and secret stuff. Make sure you check it out down in the description below. Moving on to my other project, and it's the game that I started making for what I thought was going to be my Christmas project on this channel. It was supposed to be a 3-part series on kinda Christmas-based quests, and I was gonna make a game about it and a series on it. Well, if you're a subscriber, you already know that didn't happen. It just didn't go like I wanted it to. And then I lost a lot of energy on it and I decided I won't finish it. This one is I regret the most because I made more than half of it. I just lacked the finishing touch, and as you can see, I recorded a lot of it and it's really good. The game is pretty expensive, and as you can see, the map was made by my brother and it's sick. It was supposed to be a top-down shooter where you have enemies and quests. Thinking about it, I might even upload this one day, just to show you how I went on with making it. Now on to another, my first racing game. It was supposed to be a drift racing game with abilities similar to something like GTA Racing or Mario Kart, but again, I don't know why, but my idea just got boring to me. Yes, my idea that I thought of got boring to me. And I stopped very quickly. The idea was to get points for drifting and to have different weapons to shoot at other people, and it would be a mobile multiplayer game, but as soon as I found out that making car physics was both not easy and not fun at all, I decided to move on. My very first project in Unity was a game that was supposed to be a mobile survival game, and as you can see, it looked really scuffed. I had just started getting familiar with Unity and making mobile controls, but I was really proud of this one. I thought for my first project, it's awesome. It was going to be a basic survival game where the currency would actually be your own resources. So if you get wood, you can buy armor and weapons with it, or some other resources like stone or metals. There will be like real currency which you could use to buy wood or exchange wood for that currency. But yeah, it sounds a little bit confusing, but there was a system I think that made a lot more sense. I worked on this for about 2 months and then I decided it was time to go to something new, because I think my biggest issue with game development is not finishing the games. I have made a lot of scripts for different stuff. I made a lot of systems that work and that are cool looking. For example, this building upgrade which I created for my first game, I think that it looked really good and it was a really simple script. I like simplicity. But as you can see, I have a difficulty with making something look nice. I'm an artistic disappointment. I literally have 0 sense for anything artistic, so I just sit there with my code waiting for artistic ideas to come, but everything ends up looking really ugly. Now I am improving on this. I'm trying to give a lot more time into my modeling, into my artistic side, but it's really difficult when you don't have the itch for it. When you, for example, it's not a problem for me to create a script to make absolutely anything, but it looks almost scuffed. For example, when I made my multiplayer game, I really liked a lot of mechanisms in it because it had parkour, it has first-person shooting, That first-person shooter was actually what inspired me to build my first-person shooter tester. I kind of think that game was a really good game and I could improve on it tremendously. With what let me down is it looks absolutely horrendous. It's not even included in this list because I think it shouldn't be. For me, it's baffling that I put that multiplayer game on my YouTube channel and not this first-person shooter script. But hey, more for the Patreon script people, or whoever purchases the Patreon will probably get the first-person shooter assets, because I don't think I'll be using those. I mean, I might use it, but I'm not quite sure where. And my most recent actual game was Project Gizmo. And if you're subscribed to my channel, and you probably watched my devlog on it, it was looking similar to my very first game, but now with actual knowledge that I've gotten in the past year. But obviously I hit a bump in the road and I decided to slow it down. As you would probably imagine by me not uploading the devlog in about 3-4 months, because I just hit a bump where I don't know where to continue. And this usually happens with games that I'm creating. I'm creating it, I think that it has a really good idea, and then I just stop. I have a kind of direction change that I want to do on the Project Gizmo that I'm really excited for you to hear. It's a very good idea and I'm not gonna tell you because I think it's very, very unique. I think it's something that is never been done before, but it might take a little bit more time. But Project Gizmo will continue, although it will continue inside Unreal Engine. And because I decided it was time to step into the world of Unreal Engine, test it out, transfer my current Unity project into it, make it better, maybe test out Unreal Engine 5, and definitely make videos comparing the two, Unity versus Unreal Engine. And I know there's thousands of videos on it, and I made a lot of videos talking about both of these engines, but this will be the very first time I actually have my current project in Unreal Engine, because I've never actually done that, and I'm really excited to see everything that they've made and transfer my Project Gizmo into it. So if you see a lot more Unreal Engine videos soon, you will know why. So that are all of my old and dusted projects that I have in my backlog, or all that are worth mentioning. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce that I have opened a Patreon page in where you can get pre-release scripts, access to live streams where I make my projects, play games, have fun. You will get scripts that I use in my own games and some never before seen on YouTube. Make sure to check it out for yourself because it's a great opportunity to get as much help as you need for your own projects. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe. We are trying to reach that 1,000 subscriber mark, and also we've hit 50 members on the Discord, which is really cool. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. See ya.